And can I call Sarah Harding to move the motion as a whole?
Conference. On Monday morning, letters will start arriving on doorsteps. Letters that tell people that their Employment Support Allowance, or ESA, will be stopped in the near future. That on the day it is stopped, if they have been in receipt of contributory ESA for more than 12 months, they will no longer be eligible for a benefit they still require. They will be forced onto job seekers' allowance and noted as fit to work. In 2008, the previous Labour government replaced incapacity benefit with ESA. It was originally based on the principle that a health condition or disability should not automatically be seen as a barrier to work. Instead of simply dividing people into two categories, those who are able to work and those who are not, the system acknowledged that some people might need support in order to be able to work and should not be written off. It was a laudable goal. But like many of the Labour government's laudable goals, the reality was never achieved. There can be no doubt that the coalition government has taken serious steps to improve the system from the mess we were lumbered with from Labour. The DWP asked Professor Malcolm Harrington in 2010 to conduct 5 annual reports, and after his first report, the government accepted 21 out of 25 of his recommendations, and they have made significant progress in implementing them. This government has ensured greater empathy and support for the claimant, as well as improved communication and feedback, something severely lacking under Labour. And although the government are trying to improve both ESA and the work capability assessment and have taken fundamental steps towards ensuring this, even ministers agree there are huge swathes of work still to be done. The Liberal Youth motion makes it clear we would like to see a less stressful assessment procedure for claimants. Presently, 51% of claimants report having suicidal thoughts over their work capability assessment. 75% said the assessment procedure had had a negative impact on their mental health. With statistics like this, how can we stand by and do nothing? The work capability assessment needs reform, and it needs reform now. By implementing a less stressful procedure, WCAs would be better fit for purpose and help, rather than hinder, the sick and disabled of this country. Presently, we have a system where 39% of people who appeal are being found fit to work, have their decisions overturned. Conference, a system that gets it wrong 4 times out of 10 is a system crying for reform. Equally, when the likelihood of a successful appeal is greater with representation, we believe and are calling for all claimants going to appeal to have adequate representation. A number of problems have been raised in relation to the WCA. These include that the assessment is too stringent, the descriptors are not sophisticated enough, and the Disability Benefits Consortium, a consortium of over 50 charities, believe that the assessment does not take into account the full impact of people's conditions or disability on their ability to work. In particular, it is clear that the system fails to address hidden symptoms like pain, fatigue, and cognitive problems. There is no clear definition for eligibility for the ESA work-related activity group or support groups. Without any clarity about who should be able to receive it, there is absolutely no way of judging whether or not the benefit is being awarded appropriately and fairly. And therefore, Liberal Youth are today calling for a clear assessment criteria and descriptors to make it more apparent under which circumstances ESA will be paid. ESA can be paid either based on an individual's national insurance contribution or because they are on low income. The proposals outlined in the Welfare Reform Bill will mean that from April 2012, people receiving contributory ESA in the work-related activity group will have payment of their benefit limited to 12 months. People will still be able to apply for income-related ESA after their contributory ESA claim ends, but if a claimant's partner is earning as little as £148 per week, they will no longer be eligible for ESA. The government's proposal will affect 700,000 people who have been found not fit to work by the work capability assessment. And this policy will be applied retrospectively, meaning that people who began their ESA claim in April 2011 will reach the end of the time limit by March 2012. They will not receive any ESA if they do not meet the means test, despite the fact that the Welfare Reform Bill was not in force when they first started their claim. The time limit will also apply from the start of an individual's claim, and this means it will include a 13-week assessment phase for ESA, when the benefit is paid at a much lower rate. Liberal Youth believe it is imperative that this government is realistic about the challenges facing disabled people who are seeking employment, and the proposal to time limit contributory ESA for those in the work-related activity group to 12 months must be scrapped. By the government's own figures, 94% of claimants will not have found work within 12 months. Before coming to my conclusion today, I just want to mention one more person, and that's the reason that Liberal Youth are going to be standing here today and proposing such a game-changing motion for sick and disabled people. George Potter is a member of Liberal Youth who came to us with an idea that could have a profound impact on the lives of hundreds of thousands of people in this country. His drive, ambition and vision are all reasons to why we're standing here today, and I want to extend the thanks of Liberal Youth, and I assume the rest of conference, to him today. Conference, we didn't get into coalition to be implementing policies that could devastate the lives of people across the country. It's important that now, more than ever, we stand up and fight for a benefit system that doesn't punish the weakest in society, but help them. This afternoon, please support this motion. Thank you very much.
Thank you.